Welcome. I'm Chef Bob. I am honored to be here at Monark Appliance with Megan in Winter Park, Florida, and with Sub-Zero Wolf Bob, which is what I just call him, Sub-Zero Wolf Bob. He's the other Bob in this show today, the Bob and Bob Show. And today we are going to do this awesome St. Patrick's Day menu, and we're going to talk about some incredible Sub-Zero Wolf appliances, which I'm really, really, really excited about. So thank you, Megan, for hosting us today.
Thanks for coming, Bob and Bob.
It's the Bob and Bob Show.
Bob and Bob Show.
It's like a morning show, isn't it? You used to do radio, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, see, he has that radio voice. He has a radio face too, but now
Thank
we
you
put him
for
on.
not saying the perfect face for you.
I didn't. I kind of said it without saying
You
it.
did.
I did, but he has an awesome voice, though. So thank you so much for
Yes.
having us.
Thank you, and I'm going to let you guys do your.
You're not going to help cook?
No.
Really?
No. I'll
Okay.
leave that to the professionals.
Oh, that would be Bob, the other Bob. All right. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to cook a very traditional St. Patrick's Day menu. We're going to do corned beef. We're going to do cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. And then we're going to do this really awesome bread pudding with a Guinness stout sauce,
Perfect.
which has been cooking and reducing all day. I think there's a little bit left.
That sounds like a plan. I like that.
You like
I
that?
like that.
Awesome. So talk to me, Bob, a little bit about your heritage. Let's talk about Irish. Let's talk about the Irish. I'm Irish and German. So generally I have a joke that I can't share on TV, but I have an Irish-German joke that I won't share. But so tell me a little bit about your Irish heritage.
I actually have some Irish heritage. You wouldn't know it to look at my build or the complexion, but my great-grandmother, who I have some clear recollection of, was from County Cavan in
that's
Ireland.
awesome.
Her
That's
name
awesome.
was Bessie Canavan.
Of course it was.
I remember the very, very thick kind of, brogue, and it's still, believe it or not, her legacy is alive and well today. My dad, who will be celebrating his 80th birthday this June, and he's the eldest of his siblings, and his first name is Raymond, but his nickname among his family and close friends is Laddie. Being the firstborn
awesome.
and having a grandmother from Ireland, it was
it's
Laddie.
Laddie.
So,
It's Laddie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I do have that Irish history. It's in there
That's wonderful.
with a bunch of other
a
things.
bunch of other mixed in there.
Indeed.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to cook our corned beef today. Our first dish that we're going to work on is our corned beef, which we have this gorgeous piece of corned beef with some cabbage and a whole bunch of spices. Now, when you get corned beef from a store, get it in this bag, and you get this little spice packet. I hate the little spice packet. Not going to lie, hate the little spice packet. So I have a way that you can make your own spice packet, and it can actually be healthy, and it can be what you know is actually in it, is in it. It's got mustard seed, it's got dry mustard, it's got pepper, it's got coriander, fennel, what else? Oh, and the most important part is whole allspice. If you've never seen whole allspice, they're really awesome. They're these giant berries, and they're really, they smell so good. They're so awesome. So they give the corned beef a whole lot of flavor. You can add some other things to it. You can add some juniper berries to it, which is really nice. You could add cranberries to it, which is really nice. And you can add some bay leaf. So that's all mixed up in there. We add the corned beef. If you're going to do a traditional Irish corned beef, to me, where's our pot? Here's our pot. We have this awesome Wolf pot, which I love. And they, besides amazing cookware, they do amazing points. They do amazing cookware as well. So we're going to take this gorgeous corned beef. We're going to add a traditional Irish beer, which is Hart. It's just not Irish if it doesn't have beer. There we go. We're going to add all these spices to it. And then we're going to add some cut up potatoes, some cut up carrots, you want to, you can add some onion. You could add, you know, whatever floats your boat kind of thing, whatever makes you happy. But this is pretty traditional. And then we're going to add up some cut up cabbage. When I do cabbage, I like to make it like whole, like this. I just cut it in quarters, and I just break it up and put it in here. Now this is going to cook for a long, long time, like 7 hours. There we go. That's gorgeous. See? Very pretty. Awesome. Put a lid on it. Call it done. That's how easy it is to make a traditional corned beef cabbage. Or corned beef. We're going to move over here. Oh, and we're still on me. Mm-hmm. Now, in the magic of TV, look, Bob, we have a completely done one. Don't touch it, it's hot. This is live TV.
Perfect.
Don't burn yourself. I'm not insured for that. Look at that. You know what? Okay, talk to me about this oven.
Well, what you just did is a great example of nice, easy glide out rack with roller bearings.
Isn't that gorgeous?
This is a heavy pot that you have.
It is very heavy, yes.
And that glided beautifully for you.
It did, perfect. Talk to me a little bit about this particular oven. We talked earlier, and it fascinated me, honestly, with some of the features of this oven. So if we were to turn this off, and we were to start again, show me the feature we were talking about the other day, the easy cook thing, the whole thing. Start from 0 and go to 100.
That is what we call our Wolf Gourmet mode.
Yeah, that's the one.
What you're looking at
I'm so excited about it.
Is our brand new M series oven.
Is that like the BMW M series? It's like that cool.
It's
like that cool to me.
This is like that cool and beyond. In the world of
ovens, it's the M series.
It's the M series.
I love that.
And
that's awesome.
We've literally taken the footprint of a traditional 30-inch oven, and we've gone light years beyond where anyone has brought a residential oven today with this complete redesign. And most of that is about the convection cooking performance.
Yep.
But to answer your question, we've got a mode that we call Wolf Gourmet. And I like to think you know what you're doing you're a professional chef. You can kind of cook by the look and how it's going.
Most people.
I'm a cook by book. I go through the page, and if it says to grease the sheet pan, and I'm measuring, I follow it to the letter of the law. With this mode, this kind of lets the oven become the chef. So we talked, for example, about selecting
making a prime rib or something.
Okay, so we would put it into the Wolf Gourmet mode, and we would make our first selection of meat. And this is as easy to understand if you have
like an iPhone
or an Android device.
It's like touch screen.
Just right. It's touch and swipe. So we're going to select beef. I think you said a prime rib. So we'll go to prime rib.
People have so much trouble making prime rib because they spend $60 or $70 for this piece of beef that they're going to cook once or twice a year, and they don't want to ruin it, and they're terrified of ruining it.
Okay.
And so prime rib is a great example, except they should hire me to make their prime rib. But if they didn't hire me, they should buy this oven.
So let's go to the Wolf Gourmet. Tell me the doneness to which you like your prime rib.
Rare.
Okay. So we're going to say rare. And at that point, we're going to say done. It will tell you no preheat is required. We're not baking cupcakes. So we're going to hit okay. No preheat is required. It will tell me.
It tells me what rack to put it on?
Not only what rack to put it on, and you can see that there are numbered positions embossed in the front of the oven.
Oh, my Lord.
It will tell me to insert my temperature probe into the thickest part of the meat. And you just acknowledge by saying, okay. Now it will tell you.
Where's the probe?
The
do we have it right? Yeah. Do we have it here?
We do.
I don't even know if we do we?
We'll dig that out.
We'll dig that out. But so you take that and you just stick it into the fat part of the meat.
It's the thickest part.
Thickest part.
Because you want that internal temperature to be measured precisely.
Perfect.
But this is another feature that this oven can do. It's going to tell you it will convection roast at 450 degrees for 30 minutes. And then it will switch to roast at 225.
Wow.
So what this oven's going to do is quickly caramelize the outside of that prime rib.
Yeah.
And then it will step down the temperature to 225 and go into a straight roast. When the internal is set or reaches 130, it'll tell you to let it rest for 15 minutes. You've read that, you acknowledge okay, and that screen will tell you everything that's going to happen.
Lord.
It's that easy to do.
And if I were to give a cooking instruction on how to cook the prime rib, I would say exactly that. You want to caramelize it. You want to have a 425 oven. You want to give it a good crust. Then you want to turn your oven down, and then you want to let it cook until it gets to the right temperature. But we don't know what the right temperature is. We just have to guess based on weight and time, which is awesome.
You're opening the oven. You're losing heat from the inside.
Yeah.
Making mistakes left. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's our pro.
Yeah. So we would take that. We would pop it in there, and you have a plug in here, I'm sure.
We do.
Yeah.
And we would go ahead and into the thickest part of the meat.
That is so awesome. You've eliminated the need to hire me.
So we're dual mode, dual temperature, and that's all done. The oven is doing it for you.
The oven's doing the whole thing for you. That's awesome. And will it alert me and let me know when it's done?
It will alert you and let you know when it's done.
That's amazing.
It's perfect.
That's amazing.
It's perfect.
That just blows me away. All right, let's bring this over here for a hot second. We're going to let that sit and rest. We have to let sit and rest, right? Always let your meat sit and rest. Always. Okay, so that's good. We have, what else are we doing? So we have, for dessert, we have a bread pudding that we're going to do with a Guinness. We should have a Guinness. It's St. Patrick's Day.
We should have a Guinness.
Shouldn't we have a Guinness?
Absolutely.
I think we should have a
Okay.
Guinness. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's get that working. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. It's St. Patrick's Day.
For
us, it's St. Patrick's Day. We do.
We do.
Of course I do.
Even better.
We're professionals. Come on. One for you.
Thank
We'll
you.
pour that in one of these beautiful glasses right here. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, now that's what's up.
I have a friend who did a semester abroad, and she was in Ireland and said that they recommend, this is not my recommendation now, so I can't claim this, but she said they recommend that pregnant women, because of the protein, have a pint of Guinness a day. So I'm not pregnant. I'm not a woman, but Salancha.
Salancha.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
That's delicious. I can't wait to try this.
That is delicious.
It's going to be
The
wonderful.
sauce that we made a sauce with that. It's one of my favorite sauces ever. It's a stout caramel sauce. It's been reducing for an entire day. It's so good. And there is some left. I didn't finish it, so that's good.
And we've got it reducing on our Wolf Professional gas range.
Talk to me about that, because one of the things that I especially love about this range is that I put food on this range at 3 different temperatures, and I've been here a couple hours today. I put this on at low, which is the lowest temperature you can have. Now, most ranges I've worked with professionally, they click on, they click off. They don't like to be at low. And this range is phenomenal. I could have put this stuff on the range at low this morning, went to work, came back home, and it would have been fine and just been reducing and been great. And it's at a beautiful little low temperature. So talk to me about the features of this range.
Well, it is a professional range, not just in appearance, but in performance.
It is clearly in performance, yeah.
We've got burners that will do 20,000 BTUs. I mean, that's for your large pot. That's going to get a rolling boil going. And when you add your food, pasta, a lobster, you're able to sustain that rolling boil with a big, powerful burner. We also have some burners that are what was not just a few years ago, the high, which was 15,000. But all of our burners are designed to simmer at the type of setting, the type of performance that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
it's so hard to get that simmer. It really, really, truly is.
I'll tell you how we do it. Each burner has 2 gas lines going to it. One to deliver the high performance, and the other, just a metered amount of gas gets to the burner to give you that low setting. So instead of BTUs, I'll actually tell you, that bacteria is going to start or can start to grow when you get below.
Yes.
Right. Here, we can simmer and just keep food at that 140 degrees for hours and hours and hours.
Which we've done.
You've done that with this reduction?
We've been doing this all morning with this reduction. And in order to get certain things like a sauce, especially sauces. Sauces are so hard because you get them too high, they break. You get them too low, they break, and they need to stay at a simmer just to reduce. And this performed perfectly.
I can tell you, no annoying clicking.
No clicking, I know.
And one of the things that I do, and it's not related to what you're cooking today, but people understand this when you talk about breaking. I'll put a skillet pan on the burner with a couple bags of chocolate morsels.
Yes.
And I can just turn it all day long and they will not break. And you know how delicate
Oh, chocolate is so hard.
Yeah.
So you can eliminate the double boiler
absolutely
part of that just by doing that.
So again,
That's
it's
fantastic.
all about the performance.
It is. And I can tell you also from a home cook standpoint, this is an extremely easy range to clean.
Yes.
You know, we're messy. I'm messy. It's all get out. I make a giant. If you could see my kitchen right now, you would be appalled. Am I right, Kristen? Yes. Yes. It's horrific. We had a wedding this weekend.
Okay.
We haven't recovered yet. So what I love about this range is that we can pop these grates off and we can just easily wipe them down, pop it back on. You've got this centerpiece right here. It's really easy to keep clean and maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I really love about this particular range.
It's a sealed burner with a sealed top. And the top is like a well, so it will catch. Spills happen.
Spills happen.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
But it will catch and retain that as opposed to getting
Oh.
into the stove in places and nooks and crannies that you can't clean.
Yeah, exactly. And then you turn it on, and 3 days later, you have chocolate sauce coming up out of God knows where. Yes. So so from a practical standpoint, that's one of the things that I really love about this range is that it's so easy to clean. It doesn't just perform phenomenally; it actually is easy to maintain and clean as a home cook. Yep. Awesome.
Great. Good.
Awesome. Okay, so we have that going on. We have dinner resting. We have dessert that we're going to start cooking now. So we'll talk a little bit about dessert. So we're going to do a bread pudding, which is one of my favorite things ever. My grandma used to make me bread pudding all the time. And I love bread pudding. And I think previous generations, maybe Bob can speak to this too, is that bread pudding was created out of necessity because we had stale bread. What are we going to do with stale bread? Well, we're going to make bread pudding. It's like rice. What do we do with extra rice? We make rice pudding. I love rice pudding too. So we have stale bread. We have fresh eggs. These particular eggs, because we are always supporting locals, supporting farms. These particular eggs are from Geneva. They're one of our favorite farmers. They're gorgeous. They're only 2 days old, which I love. So we're going to add some fresh eggs. That's the other beauty about bread pudding. It's so simple. It's eggs, milk, sugar, seasoning. And that's about it. 4, and we're at 5. Yep. There we go. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the robin blue eggs. They're just so pretty. Do you know what makes eggs a different color? It's what they feed the chickens, apparently. And we had the pleasure of visiting another farmer who we know up in Ocala. And he took us to his chicken farm, didn't he? Yep. And he was talking to us about his different chickens. I'm just going to add stuff as we're talking. We're going to add some brown sugar.
The breed plays into it too.
And the breed, yes. The breed of chicken adds into it as well. We're going to add some regular sugar.
And the color of their legs shows the color of the eggs.
Yeah, which was really cool. I didn't realize that. So apparently some chickens have blue legs. Go figure. I didn't know that. One of our other favorite partners, who I'm going to shamelessly plug here, is Mannix Vanilla, who is also local to Winter Park. Can't have enough vanilla. Another shameless plug to Kate's Butter out of Maine. You're from the Northeast, right?
I am.
Yeah. Kate's Butter out of Maine. I'm a huge butter person. Huge. I love butter like nobody loves butter. This is the best butter I've ever had in my entire life.
We eat it. Paul.
They don't pay me to say that.
Okay.
I just love it that much. It's the best butter in the entire world. Okay, so we got that. This is my awesome nutmeg grater. I call it my
Saucer.
my UFO saucer. My son bought this for me, RJ. My son RJ bought this for me probably 15 years ago. And it takes a piece of nutmeg, an actual nut,
Yeah.
and it goes right in the center. You put other nuts right here, pop it right on there, and it just grinds it. So you have fresh ground. You smell that?
I do.
Isn't it unbelievable?
That's aromatic. That's
wonderful. My God, it's so awesome. And he was so proud of himself when he bought this for me. He like bought it online and he got it to me for a present, and he was so proud of himself, and it was a fantastic gift. It's one of my favorite things that I use. And then we have a little bit of cinnamon. We have a little bit of ground cloves. I give a shameless plug to Penzies because I love Penzies, even though they left Winter Park. This is just a little bit of pumpkin pie spice, just for fun. And we're good. So we're going to take that. Oh, we have cream and half. So I use half and half, and I use milk, 1 cup of each. And then it gives it just the right consistency where it's not too thick, it's not too thin. Oh, that smells awesome. Perfect.
You have your green whisk for St. Patrick's Day.
I have my green whisk for St. Patrick's Day because I'm that prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, but it just worked out. And so now we're just going to pour this over our bread. Oh, that is just gorgeous, isn't it?
That looks great.
Doesn't it? All right. So now just because I'm a chef and I can't help it, I got to get all up in it. And you want to make sure that every piece of bread is covered in the whole goodness and the love. There. And then you have 2 choices, Bob. You have to at least let it sit for about 15 minutes so that it soaks up all of that love. Or you could put a lid on it, pop it in the fridge overnight, and now you've got a really nice brought together piece of bread pudding. And then you can just pop it in the oven for 45 minutes at 350, and then you're good to go. So we talked a little bit about ovens and a little bit about convection and a little bit about stuff like that. Tell me how convection works, because if you'll open that for me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're welcome. There we go. We're gonna pop that in there. Tell me, just talk to me about convection, because I know a lot of cooks and a lot of people. I do a lot of cooking classes, and a lot of people talk to me about convection cooking. I lost my beer, Bob. What happened?
Couldn't have gone far.
It couldn't have. Oh, here it is. There we go. So talk to me a little bit about how convection really works and what it really is, because I think that people don't quite understand it.
Okay. In its purest form, convection is the movement of air inside the oven. In the earliest convection ovens that were sold in North America, they actually came from, I'm talking about residential now, excuse me, they came from Europe. And I'm talking about the true convection.
Right.
American appliance manufacturers had conventional top and bottom, or what we know as bake and broil heat, and a fan on the wall to kind of move it around and even it out.
And that was it. A thing on the bottom, and that was it.
The Europeans really had what we call a third element type convection. So you were moving superheated air throughout the oven and not just the ambient air inside the oven cavity.
Okay.
Today, most, I'll say, premium manufacturers employ that technology inside their oven.
Mm-hmm.
What we've done with this M series oven, I said earlier, was really revolutionary. And that is, Wolf pioneered a system 16 years ago that we call dual convection. We have 2 fans, and depending on the cooking mode, they can be operating simultaneously or they can be operating independent of one another. That's dictated by the mode or the setting that you're in. But in this oven, we've got something that we call dual verticross. And what that means is you've got large vertical fans. They're towers, top to bottom, in the back corners of the oven, and heating elements around them. So the air movement on the inside is completely even, top to bottom, front to back, side to side.
So if I were to put 4 sheet pans of cookies in there, and typically, normally, I would have to take my cookies out, spin them around. I would have to, the top one wouldn't be quite as done as the middle one, and blah blah blah. And so I'm trying to cook 3,000 cookies, but a typical chef is going to cook 48 cookies and going to have 4 sheet pans.
Right.
So, are you telling me I can put just those 4 sheet pans in there? Done.
Same doneness.
Perfect.
Wow. So for the baker, this is a super high performing oven. But you saw earlier when we did the example of the prime rib that you can actually go into dual modes. For me, and I think for most people when they've owned a convection oven, the real benefit is the end result of the recipe. Whether we're caramelizing the prime rib or whether we want that level of doneness top to bottom to be just its perfection in this oven. So it's super heated air in the most even fashion that you can get. And the oven's got appeal to someone who bakes, someone who roasts, someone who broils, because you can utilize the conventional top heat if you want to broil veggies or you want to roast or broil a nice piece
roasted potatoes.
Perfect.
I think what I'm kind of getting at it is that we could, you could actually elevate a person who likes to cook, which millions of people like to cook, but they don't feel comfortable that they're going to be able to achieve the result that they see on HGTV.
Right.
They just don't see Food Network quality coming out of their oven. I think this kind of oven would help them kind of get to that level where they could host a party and provide that kind of food.
I tell people, and this has just been proven over the years, I tell them, set it to convection and set your temperature to 350, and there's not a lot that can go wrong.
And there you go.
Not a lot that can go wrong.
That's awesome. All right, let's get this bread pudding going. We've got other stuff going on over here. We got, all right, look, so we got cabbage. We got cabbage cooking over here, going crazy cakes. There we go. Perfect. We got sauce going on over here. Perfect. Yep, that's where we're going. So, one of the other things that I love that you guys make, Bob, I'm going to get our hot roast, corned beef. Just look at that. That just happened. We're going to let that sit and think about things for a minute. Talk to me about this little honey, because if I don't get one of these on my counter at some point soon, I'm going to have to shoot somebody. So let's talk about this.
Okay. So this is our Wolf Gourmet countertop oven.
Okay.
This oven, just like that 36-inch professional range that we talked about, minus the big gas burners on the top, this oven will cook in a traditional bake mode with bottom heat. It will broil, if you want to broil the roasted potatoes in a pan. Yeah. It will cook in a convection mode, a little different than we were talking about. Now we're going to use the top and bottom heat and the fan on the inside, again, to circulate the air for evenness.
Yep.
And it also cooks with a temperature probe. So
essentially, this is essentially the same thing as having that incredible oven on your counter.
On your countertop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And this is the little probe that we pop in there.
That's the temperature
probe. That's
probe.
Unbelievable. So this plugs in the inside, stick it into a roast, stick it into a anything.
Set the internal temperature that you like, the meat or whatever.
Then it'll just
off it goes.
Oh my gosh, that's just why do we need chefs anymore? See, this is what's concerning me. This is what's concerning me, Bob. You're putting me out of business. I'm helping you do it.
You're one man.
One man.
I'm one man. Okay, fine. I can't feed the world, even though I think I can. But I'll try. So talk to me.
Well, again, I don't know. Are you ready to open this?
I'm ready to open
and to see the product that you've had.
So that bread pudding. Remember the bread pudding that we just did?
Yeah.
We put in that oven over there, and miracle of TV, we have a finished one coming right out of here that was actually cooked in this oven. Look at this. That is... Yeah, that's not going to suck. What is it, Megan? It's not going to suck.
No.
Yep, that's my phrase. It's not going to suck. So talk to me about the inside of the oven.
Okay, the inside of the oven is stainless steel. It comes with an oven rack. It comes with a a baking sheet or a baking tray, but it literally is as simple as selecting your operating mode,
Okay.
your temperature, and then whether you want to engage the convection function or
It's
not.
amazing.
If you plug the probe in, the display is a dual display, and your readout in degrees and Fahrenheit will
Yep.
also be there.
Yep.
And like I said, that's going to measure internal temperature. So
You know,
it's a lot more sophisticated than a toaster oven.
Thank you. And that's what I was just going to say. I mean, when I pull this out, this is an oven. This isn't.
Mhm.
This is an
That's an
oven.
oven rack.
That's
It's
an
a
oven
small
rack.
one, but that's
It's a small one, but it's a real oven rack. It's
Mhm.
heavy. It's incredible. It's not. It's so beyond a toaster oven. It's not even fun.
We actually have a promotion running through the end of this year where a customer who purchases a Sub-Zero refrigerator
Mhm.
and Wolf cooking appliances, a Wolf range or an oven and a cooktop, they earn points, just like you earn points on your
Like
American
reward
Express.
stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This has a point value. That earns 3 points. This has a point value of 1. So
Mhm.
a person buying the Sub-Zero and Wolf appliances in their kitchen
Yeah.
can select the countertop oven. We
Oh,
have
man.
2-slice and 4-slice toasters.
Oh man.
We also have
Oh, next time we need to do toasters. Let's do toasters.
Okay.
We'll do a breakfast thing. It'll be fun.
we have one of our other countertop electric appliances, and I'll let you bring that out later. Well, that's the one you're going to use.
Yeah.
And then we have our cookware, which I think you used some of in
We
the
did.
preparation.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And we've got a cutlery set. Those are 2-point
Oh,
values.
okay.
But those are just, they're very, very nice thank yous.
Yeah.
The 3 points that you earn with that purchase is about $1,700 worth of
Oh
thank
my
yous.
lord, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I would like $1,700. That
There
would
you
be
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll take that in a minute. Okay, so now, all right, let's keep cooking. I'm having fun here. All right, so we've got our bread pudding. We've got our dinner, our corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes and carrots. We have our sauce, which we'll work on in a minute here. Talk to me a little bit about, before we get into the really fun stuff, talk to me about this fridge.
Okay. This is a Sub-Zero built-in refrigerator.
Okay.
This configuration is what we call our French door.
Yeah.
So if this is an application, just like we have here, we've got an island and we don't have a lot of space.
Yeah.
So the door is much shorter than the old style
Big.
big, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a 36-inch, we call over-under, the freezer down below.
Yeah.
But in this application, this fits,
Perfect.
perfectly. And
Yeah.
it's become very popular today because you've got access to
Both sides.
the
yeah.
full width of the shelves.
Well, what I like about it too is that you have 2 different sizes for shelves. I tend to have all of these shelves filled all the time with sauces, with things. I have my orange juice. I have my creamer. I have my stuff that I use right away. I have beer right there.
Mhm.
Perfect. And then we have butter, and we have all sorts of other stuff that we have to have. So I like that it has so many shelves on it, and I can put so much stuff in on all the shelves. And then also, I like that I can stack so many different things on here, and I can move these wherever I want them.
Mhm.
Yep,
Well,
perfect.
one of the things that you take particular note of is you like to use fresh from the farm, and you like
Yes.
to cook organic.
Yes.
The best thing I can tell you about Sub-Zero is that it's about food preservation. Our systems utilize something we call dual refrigeration. It's literally one sealed system for the refrigerator, and it's separate and apart from the freezer. What happens, what the benefit for you is your food stays fresher longer, appreciably longer. How
Yeah,
long
and we
will
talked about
apples
that.
stay in your refrigerator?
Apples, if I were to have cut apples, if I were to cut an apple in 4 pieces and I were to put it in a bag and put it in my fridge, I would say maybe 2 to 3 days tops.
Okay. Just whole produce, not cut
Yeah,
up. How
okay.
long will they last in a refrigerator before they begin to spoil?
2 to 3 days.
Okay. We'll tell you that will stay fresh in this refrigerator 1 to 2 months.
Get out.
I love to go to Costco
Get out.
and buy grapes. I love fresh grapes.
Yeah.
The problem
Love
is
fresh
I have to buy a lot at one time at Costco.
Yeah, exactly.
And after a few days, they start to
They
shrivel
mold
up.
and
They
they-
start to become raisins. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. We'll tell you this will stay 2 to 3 weeks. Fresh grapes inside
Get
the refrigerator.
out. Oh my God. Well, we do so much at the farmers market. We love to go to the farmers market. We go to the farmers market here in Winter Park every Saturday morning. I go visit all my partners, and I go get all of this stuff. And if I don't have particular events I'm using it at the house. But sometimes it's too much. I can't help but buy stuff from them. So I buy stuff from them. And then it just goes away. And I hate that.
All that farm fresh produce and vegetables that you're buying in an ordinary refrigerator, they don't get along so well because they all give off ethylene gases.
Yes, exactly.
We have an air scrubber in this refrigerator that's constantly scrubbing air to eliminate the ethylene gases. And that's a big part of our food preservation story.
It is.
And why it stays fresher longer in a sub-zero.
Which is, I know that, there's certain tricks that chefs know about bananas and putting certain things together with certain things to make them ripen quicker. But that also just happens on its own. And everything gives off certain things and makes things just get older. And once you cut it off the vine, it starts to die. It starts. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
It all begins in here. Those fresh ingredients, we're going to keep them fresh for longer.
Oh, that's incredible. All right. I think the only thing that we're missing at this point is a good St. Patrick's Day cocktail.
So it's like another plan.
I think that's what we're missing. Do you think that's what we're missing?
I think we need that.
I think we're kind of missing that.
And the leprechaun.
Do you?
And
Well, I'm supposed to be the leprechaun.
All right.
I'm as lucky as you're getting today. Sorry. And we already discussed that. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have an idea or an appliance that we might be able to use to make a really good cocktail?
We do. We have a very high-performing countertop blender from Wolf.
Get out, really?
This blender will do everything from chop up ice, from its cube state to, ice flakes, like if you wanted to make that perfect margarita. It has all the manual modes for anyone that's ever owned a blender, and most of us have. We know we want to set it on 30 seconds, or we don't. We just want to let it go in a manual mode. We can control our speed; it's variable. But we've even got a mode called soup, so that if we put our fresh ingredients in, and I did this around Christmas time, I cut up a couple of different types of apples. I put a little agave. No, I put a little agave in there and a little ground cinnamon to the sweetness and the cinnamon sort of to taste, and some water. And I made apple cider hot because it literally will turn that liquid into 140-degree hot cider.
Oh my God, really?
It's the power of the motor. It's freaking. There's not a heater in there, so you can make fresh ingredients in your own stock. It goes that fast. And make hot soup. Health conscious. We've got a smoothie mode. So, and I'm not a kale person, and I know it's good for you. You can tell I don't eat a lot of kale, right? I've done.
I did arugula too. I got a salad the other night. It was all arugula.
Yogurt, fresh berries, and some ice. And I've chopped up spinach, kale, you name it, thrown it in because I wanted a healthy smoothie. You don't taste it. If you want to taste it, you'd add a whole lot.
My Kristen makes me smoothies all the time, and she keeps trying to throw healthy crap in that for me to make me healthier. I can always figure it out, and so we figured out what I can eat and what I can't eat. I think maybe if I had this blender, she might be able to get a lot more vitamin.
We're about to go.
That might could work.
180 degrees from healthy, but it is St. Patrick's Day. So
let's do that. Let's pull this thing up here.
Chef Dennis says hold the kale too.
Chef Dennis says hold the kale. Chef Dennis, I'm totally with you, dude. Totally with you. Thank you for joining us, by the way.
He would like a ribeye smoothie.
He would like a ribeye smoothie. Of course he would. Chef Dennis, really? A ribeye smoothie? Really? Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to make that today. We are going to make something that you're really going to wish that you were here for, which I know you are going to wish you were here for. So we're going to start with some ice, which is also in this incredible, which you can't see, Sub-Zero ice machine, which I wish I had in my house like nobody's business because it rocks and it makes this gorgeous ice. And it has what I think is really cool, this little scooper handle, which I know is stupid and silly, but I really like it because it just stays right there. All right, so we're going to pour some ice in here, Bob.
There you go.
Perfect. And we're going to fill it with, I forgot the scooper handle. There we go. We're going to fill it with, let's look what we have over here.
Okay.
we have these two. Let's work with these two and show me what we have in here. We have, yep, some of that.
There you go.
And we have a little bit of this, a little bit of juice. Oh, yeah. All right. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to have some Deep Eddy vodka. We're going to shake it.
Deep Eddy needs shook.
Deep Eddy needs shook, apparently.
It makes it better.
Wow.
Learn something every day.
I just learned that. I'm sure she's told me that 12 times or 100, but we're gonna measure this right out, and that's measured. Perfect. It's exactly the measurement we needed. There we go. See, and once the ice settles, now I know it's right. We're gonna add some Midori to it. I love Midori. It smells like melon.
It does.
Isn't it nice? Primarily, we're adding this just because it's green. And I happen to like melons. Now we're going to add a little bit of Go Smart coconut water and pineapple. Okay, ready? There. Now. And just a little splash of orange juice. Ah, that's what's up right there. Okay, perfect. All right, I can't wait to see this thing work. All right, Bobby, talk to me.
Okay, so we're going to our selector, and in this case, I think we're just going to use the manual mode. But as you can see, we've got everything from smoothie to operating in manual to crushing ice to pureeing.
It's just crazy.
And then all the way over to
crazy.
If we did soup, it would take 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So let's just
we'll
go to
awesome.
Manual.
Go to manual.
And we're going to hit start.
Okay.
And we'll operate it on setting number 2.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah. Look at that.
You can adjust that speed. Go higher.
Woohoo!
Or get it right down.
Love that.
Is that great?
That is just awesome. Oh, look, it's done.
Here you go.
Wow. It's just like that. Bam. Happiness in a glass, just like that. Oh.
Smell out here.
Yeah, it sounds happy. I can smell it. I can smell it too. We got some gorgeous Monarch glasses, which I love. I think we need to have a set at our house. I think we really do, just to make sure that we can promote the brand. I think. All right, Bob. My family calls me Bob. I hope it's okay.
You can say Bob, Bobby, Rob, Robert. I answer to
Those are
all
all
the
the
above.
good things people call me.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Do you find if I call? Well, those are all the good things people call me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, I know.
What do you call this?
What do we call it, honey? It's a leprechaun's kiss.
Kiss.
It's a leprechaun's kiss. Have you ever been kissed by a leprechaun?
No, I haven't.
It makes
Oh,
your
you're
day
not as
so much
lucky as
better.
Okay.
I am. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, good God,
Great cocktail.
that does not suck.
No.
That does not suck. Okay, you know what we're going to
Well
do
done.
now? Because I'm really excited. We're going to go ahead and plate up some of this corned beef and cabbage.
Okay.
And we're going to get some dessert ready. How about that? All right. Let's work on this first. Thank you. Good. Perfect. Good. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, first. This here. Oh, Bob, this looks awesome. This. Oh, yeah.
I'm losing the chef here.
I'm like wandering all over the kitchen here. It's pretty much what I do. Oh, look at that. It won't even stay together.
smells delicious. I'm sorry the people online can't smell it.
And we should have smell-o-vision. We've talked about that
Mhm.
before, and it's probably a good thing. Most times we don't have smell-o-vision, but in this case, it would be a time when we might want to have it. Bob wants to jump right in. I see Bob is just
This
jumping.
showroom smells outstanding between the corned beef that you had in the pot and the bread pudding.
Oh,
We had some folks in earlier who were actually shopping, and they stopped us and said, "Okay, when's lunch?
Yeah.
When are we eating?" I said, "Well, if you can be around in roughly 45 minutes or so, we'll have it for you." So,
oh, isn't that nice?
doesn't that look great?
Doesn't it? Oh, that looks really nice. I'm very excited about that. I had a, here it is. Perfect.
These potatoes, I think they're done perfectly.
They are. I like to do the potatoes in just large quarters, just because they cook so long. It makes it easy for them to just come out just right. Bob, you hold that for me?
Certainly.
Awesome. Go ahead and I'm going to set that there for a hot second. You're going to not mind my fingers. Perfect. Wow. Megan seems very excited about the prospect of trying this. There we go. All right, so here we have our gorgeous corned beef, cabbage, carrots, and potatoes. Thank you. That's for you.
Thank you.
And mine is right here. We're going to take a quick taste of this. We're going to give it to Megan because if she doesn't try it in a hot second, I think she's going to lose it.
All right.
Yeah, look, you don't even need a knife. Isn't that nice?
Oh, it just comes apart.
Oh, my gosh.
Delicious.
Oh, my gosh.
Kudos to the chef. What a great job.
Thank you, chef.
And how about the appliances?
You know what? I could not have made them without the appliance. You know what it is? It's you know, you can make a great meal on a campfire with rocks and sticks and hell. But it's a hell of a lot easier with appliances like this. Let me tell you, if I could have walked away and just done nothing and just popped it in there and said, "Hey, make this for me," that would have been my choice, trust me. So I think for home cooks, I know I can't stop eating.
This is well done.
Oh, thank you. And I love that the potatoes are not like a giant mushy mess.
No.
These potatoes cook for 9 hours in that oven.
Mm-hmm.
And they cook perfectly. Just perfectly. Megan's losing her stuff over there. She can't wait to try this. I know.
And you need
So
to.
why don't she does. So why don't we do this? Why don't we pass this off to the girls
Okay.
and let's make a little bit of dessert.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Oh,
Thank
look,
you.
she's all excited to get it. Uh-huh. All right. I gotta say, Bobby, this is one of my favorite parts right here. Is dessert. I used to be
one of my favorites as well.
It is, and I used to be I was an executive pastry chef for a long time, and I got to the point where I stopped eating desserts because I made them like constantly. All I did was make desserts. I worked in restaurants in upstate New York, in Saratoga Springs, and Raleigh, and I would spend days where I made desserts for the entire week for numbers of restaurants. And one of my favorite things to make was cheesecake. So I'd make all these different kinds of cheesecakes, and I love cheesecake. Bread pudding is still my favorite.
Okay.
It's still my favorite. All right, so we've got this. This is gorgeous. We got sauce. I know. I'm so excited. I know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh yeah.
And you made that whole thing in the little countertop.
In the little
convection.
countertop convection oven. I know, isn't it awesome?
Amazing.
It is amazing. It just blows me away that you can have an oven. You can essentially have two ovens. I mean, you can have an oven that doesn't like heat up the whole kitchen and do all that stuff, and you can still have an oven that does all of that stuff, and that you can make pizza in, and you can make all this other stuff in. Okay, we've got to get into this sauce. This sauce is going to be. You smell that? Wow! Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh my gosh! Look, see, I talked about the sugar. Remember?
Yeah.
See, every time we stir it, every time I stir it, it goes crazy cakes. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the love right there.
It smells delicious.
Excellent.
Again, the smell-o-vision in this case would be really good. Yeah, I think the staff here is about ready.
It's going to be a good afternoon.
It's going to be a good afternoon, I think. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Bobby.
Thank you.
We worked really hard today.
We did.
We did. We did a really great job, and I think we deserve
A little dessert.
a little dessert.
Just desserts. Wow. That is fantastic.
In my world, I say that's what's up.
That is what's up. That's a great job, Chef Bob.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I again, it's about having the right ingredients, but it's also about having the right appliances to make sure that it all comes together the right way. I hate when people buy really good, expensive things and they put all the things right together and then they don't have what they need to actually finish the job. They don't have the right range. They don't have a range that can simmer something for 8 hours. They don't have an oven that can tell it when it's really done. They don't have a fridge that can tell them that, this is going to be safe here, and this is going to be safe here, and this is going to be safe here. And they don't have a convection oven that can do all these other things for them, and a blender that can make just god-awful good cocktails. I mean, I don't know what else you use a blender for. That's the only thing I ever use a blender for is making god-awful good cocktails. Oh, yeah, smoothies.
With
yes,
kale.
healthy with kale for Chef Dennis. Yes. Anyway, so thank you for joining me today and teaching me about all of these things. And it's been
Thank you. And I
honor.
thank Megan for having us.
Thank you, Megan. Megan, come on over.
All of these products are for sale at all of
Go
the
ahead
Monark
and try it.
showrooms.
Go ahead.
All right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have cooties, right?
I have
Twist
no
her arm.
cooties.
Okay.
I'm a chef. I have no cooties.
How good is
Stop
that?
it.
No.
Delicious.
Awful.
You shouldn't have any more.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Well,
Seriously.
really, thank you so much for hosting us, and thank you for bringing us in and honoring us with all these great appliances.
Anytime. You can come literally every day.
Literally
if
every day.
You need to,
Work
practice
stuff
or,
out.
Yeah, whatever.
And,
Yeah, that's
okay.
great.
All right.
That's great.
Take that back over to Kristen. Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great to work with
Really
you. Look
enjoyed
forward to our next blab.
Our next blab will be a ton of fun, and we're going to do toaster stuff. And if you've got anything else we can play with, we'll do that. I think we should do little pizzas, I think.
We'll do some of that.
Little pizzas.
As this showroom gets completed and really built out, we'll have things like the convection steam oven live.
Oh my gosh, really?
And we can do some fun things. And we'll show some different design as well. We'll show integrated refrigeration that kind of disappears into the
Get
cabinets.
out, really?
We'll have a lot of fun.
Oh
with
my
that.
God, that'll be awesome. And I think we have a new renovation coming up in June. I think we're going to have a grand opening with a renovation of this beautiful showroom, which is already beautiful. I'm sure it'll just be much more beautiful.
It will.
Yep. More details to come.
More
Should be done
details to
in
come.
June.
Awesome. And so if anyone wanted to buy appliances like Bob's Sub-Zero Wolf appliances or any others, where would they go? Can you come on over and chat with that for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was enjoying the bread pudding.
I know you were.
still.
She got
I had to
sidetracked
pull- I
by
had to
the
pull
Guinness.
away from the bread pudding for a minute.
Yeah, so we have 18 locations across the country now with Monarch. So you can certainly stop by any one of our 6 locations here in Florida. We've got, obviously, here Winter Park, Sarasota, Bonita Springs, Miami, Pompano, and West Palm Beach. But then we also have showrooms out west as well. So certainly come in and grab some Sub-Zero Wolf appliances with us. We'd love to be your consultant to help you finish whatever project you're looking to do.
Perfect. What's your website?
Monarchhome.com.
Perfect.
Monarch Home.
And Sub-Zeros?
Sub-Zero is subzerowolf.com.
Yes.
SubZeroWolf.com. And of course, I'm Chef Bob at Rock Sticks in Hell. And we've made a lot of good stuff out of Rock Sticks in Hell today.
Yes, we have.
Indeed.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.